So with the new boss rush game mode in Ultra Impact coming out on the 9th, you're going to be able to get another SR unlocking orb, alpha and beta item for your SR units. So me and DRC3 are going to go through 10 SRs that you should be upgrading, who I think and he thinks are worth it. So let's just jump into it. None of this is in order. These are just 10 units that we would suggest.
All right. Thanks for having me. So the very first character we're going to talk about is the green Ochako or Araka. And if you haven't run her yet, if you haven't invested in her yet, I recommend going and doing that right now because this character is absolutely crazy, really good. And her pre-awakened art is actually pretty nice, the little bubbles and everything. I actually like that art a lot. So anyways, went off on a tangent. Her plus ultra is really good. It deals 500% damage like a normal SR, you know, that's what most SRs cap out at. But her skill impact can be increased by 30% if the character has speed up, and then her impact gets increased by another 30% if the opponent's affected by a speed down. And then her action skills are kind of what are the kicker here. Her skill impact is increased by 40% if the opponent is affected by speed down again, and then also increases character's plus ultra gauge by 30% when used in a skill chain. And then her other action skill increases the speed of all allies by 25% and decreases the opponent's speed. So there's your speed down and there's your speed up with your other action skill. So if like you use her zero gravity control first, which is the one that speeds down and speeds up, and then you use your other action skill and your other plus ultra skill, this character can actually do pretty good amounts of damage for an SR character. Like it's actually impressive for an SR character. And then just the other, like I also said in one of her other action skills, she raises her plus ultra. She also has an auto skill that will raise her the plus ultra gauge of all allies that are green type. So that's just even more. If you run her on a green team, she can actually be a good damage dealer as well as a good support at the same time. So that's what makes her very interesting as a character and as an SR.
Yeah, and her second auto skill gives it a 40% crit rate. Most of the units that we're showing, we're not really looking in the count to PvP. Just want to say that. It's more for PvE. So in this case, crit rate for VE Tower is absolutely amazing. And yeah, she just has so much plus ultra gauge increase that she just spams it. And low cooldowns as well. Technical hits all across the board. She's just a very staple unit if you're looking for points in VE Tower and just very strong in general for an SR.
I was just going to add, yeah, and the reason we're not talking about PvP is just because you can't realistically run SRs in PvP and expect to climb very well. So
yeah, essentially. Okay, so let's go with the second unit, which is Purple Hawks. Underrated character. Like, I underrated him at the start, but I figured out why he was so good. Pretty much what it comes down to is that he has cooldowns for his skills, and paired up with the right memory, he does a lot of things for VE Tower specifically, and that is plus ultra gauge for a specific ally, so you can pick, which is very nice, increasing that plus ultra damage for that ally. With his plus ultra himself, he has the cooldowns by 2, which essentially makes it so that he's getting at least one of his skills back, depending on the order that you use your action skills in. Usually it is the turn 5 cooldown, the attacking move, and then the 2 normal attacks that he provides for himself is just potential critical hits that you could have. The only thing is, you have to give him the hot pot memory, so unless you have that, I would say just stay away from him to begin with, because without that, he doesn't have any technical hits. But if you do, he's actually one of the best VE Tower characters to bring, as he's not, as you know, he's got everything that you really need other than status elements. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Hot pot memory, for everyone out there who doesn't have it, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. I don't have it either. I totally agree with everything you said there, though.
Yeah.
I honestly, I underrated him too at the beginning until I saw a JPhanta video, so there you go.
Yeah.
All right, our next character was Menorah. Oh man, Minoru Mineta. I can't even say his name. Most people have probably experienced this character because of the April Fools, or you experienced his green counterpart, but we are doing the purple one. And we put him in the list because of his binding, because he can decrease the opponent's power. And because if there are any female characters on the team, he's also going to increase his plus ultra gauge. So like he has binding, he decreases the opponent. He's going to do debuffs. That's the word I was looking for.
Yep.
I can never remember the word. And he has plus ultra. And then lastly, he also increases his own critical hit rate if there's any females on the team. So like once again, a very niche SR character. He just kind of does it all, and he's really good for that fact.
Yeah. And one thing to note, he, I believe, has the highest crit rate base stat in the entire game with 20 crit already built in. So as long as you have a female, you're already having 45, and then with the memory, like you're over 50% crit rate already. So that's absolutely insane. And like you said, the debuffs, the power debuffs, they add up quite a lot. You're almost taking very minor damage, to say the very least. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And on top of that, having a chance to bind, just icing on the cake, man.
Yeah.
Icing on the cake.
All right, let's go to the next one here, which is Shinso. Again, you kind of understand the reason why we put these characters in here. He just has debuffs, he has status ailments, and low cooldowns. That's the 3 requirements for like an SR unit these days. But like he also has the crit rate, which is another thing. That's why I like him. He has already got the 40% crit rate. He gets 5% crit rate every time he receives an attack. So theoretically, you can get to 100% crit rate because that is a permanent buff. You know, all you have to, if a memory, all you have to take is like 6 hits and you're at 100% crit rate. Low chance to confuse, defense down, speed down, binding. So he's got a whole bunch of stuff.
Right, and then I would just like to add one little thing to that. Like, if you've looked at his HP, he actually has really, I think, decent HP for an SR, considering all the stuff he has built into him. Like, it's obviously not the highest, but I've used him in the VE tower quite a bit, and I've been pleasantly surprised with how well he's tanked on top of all the stuff he does.
Yeah.
All right, and our next one was the blue Tomara Shigaraki.
I love how you say their full name.
Guy,
you give them the respect.
He's the main villain. He deserves the respect, man. All right. He deals 500% damage to a single opponent. That's what every SR does, okay? But what he's really good for, and we talked about this back in my video on the UR video, and I asked JPhanta what his thoughts were on the status element, but fear. The fear is absolutely nuts on this guy. And the fact that he has as many fears as he does for an SR, for a villain unit, I think he might almost have more fears than any other villain unit. I could be what do you think? More chances to fear overall?
Yeah, I think he has the highest chance to fear.
Yeah, for that to be on an SR, that's pretty good. And then on top of that, he has his other game over action skill, which decreases defense, and then he decreases the critical hit rate of the opponent by 25%. Both of those are 25%, but not just for 1 turn, for 3 turns, which is just crazy on an SR. And then on top of that, he's going to increase the critical hit rate of all ally League of Villains characters by 20%. And then his other auto skill is going to increase the plus ultra gauge by 50% when he's below 50% HP. So this guy is just it's a shame really that they put all this stuff on an SR, because this is stuff that belongs like on UR stats. Like, this is just really, really good.
Yeah. So if you are versing an STR type, this guy's like the counter STR unit, because like he has so much fear. He gets additional effects when versing STR. He lowers defense, and yeah, the crit rate is very nice as well. So I really liked using him, not in this VE tower, but like the one previous to that, where you're versing.
Brave to use him.
Yeah, he's good though. And then if like a nice pairing for anybody that has All for One, he buffs League of Villains critical rate as well. So him plus Shigaraki and then another League of Villain unit, you're getting a lot of crit rate shared between all 3 of those. Usually it's, depending on the typing, it's usually Toga, Blue Toga, because he has a crit rate built in as well. So you get a lot of crit rate with that kind of team build, which I wish I had Toga for that, but unfortunate.
Are there any other, I don't think there is, any other villain units that increase crit rate for the whole team besides this one?
The whole team, no.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's the only one, so that makes him, like, just ridiculous right there. Makes him really good.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one. This one, I was skeptical because I think I could put maybe some other characters, but I mean, for a day 1 unit, you gotta give them some respect, and that is the blue Bakugo cooking. Pretty much, he is like a mini Bakugo in a way, but just with debuffs, because not many other Bakugos can debuff like he does. But he's got the burn factor, 2 of them, so that's good. And then the 3-turn cooldown on his attacking skill, which is nice, and which is a technical hit. And he also lowers the enemy's power and increases plus ultra gauge for that plus ultra spam. Decreases the enemy's speed and decreases the enemy's critical rate. As you can see, there's a lot of debuffs. And that could set you up for some other characters that require that certain debuff in order to, you know, do extra damage and everything like that. Such as All Might, the red All Might, or I think Air Force Deku also gets a certain extra buff when the enemy's speed down or power down, I forget, or crit rate down, one of the two. So, yeah.
Would you recommend? We said we weren't really going to talk about PvP, but seeing as how this guy decreases a single opponent's speed by 25%, there might be some people that ask, would you run this guy out for like PvP just to decrease speed? What do you think?
No, just because it's a single opponent speed, I would not. I don't think that would probably make it even to his own speed. But you're still at a disadvantage using an SR character. If it was like everyone's speed, I might consider it, because that 25% is a lot. But no, not for one enemy. Not really worth it.
Right. Yep, I agree. And makes complete sense. All right. The next character we had, and I think this one was actually more of my pick than JPhanta's. I'm not sure if he feels the same way.
I don't mind. I don't mind.
Okay.
He's kind of nice.
Is the yellow Uraraka? I didn't say the full name that time. You can't. So the reason I picked this character is because she actually carried me through a VE Tower challenge. I actually can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I have a video on it. Maybe you would know. The one where you fight Mirio and Night-Eye together. Do you know which tower challenge that was?
I think that's the Shigaraki one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is the second floor of the Shigaraki one then.
Yeah.
And she absolutely actually carried me through that with her barriers. So I'll just kind of tell you guys about her skills real quick and why I think she's so good. So first off, she is an amazing support. Just overall, that's what you need to know about this character. She's a support. And when HP is 50% or higher, she increases the power of all allies by 25% for 3 turns. That is a really, really, really good action skill. Like that 25% adds up. But then the even better part is when she drops below her 50% health threshold, it goes up to 40%. So by the end of the battle, like when you're going through that VE Tower challenge and you're trying to make up that extra damage, that 40% damage helps a lot. And then on top of that, she increases the plus ultra of all allies, giving you extra plus ultras. Yeah. So that actually made her really ridiculous for a VE Tower run. And then on top of that, giving all her allies barriers that nullify one hit with her other action skill just helps you sustain throughout the fight, making her also very viable and very good. And that's also going to increase her plus ultra. So there you go. And then her auto skill is for ally mind type units. So she's going to increase that could be villain or hero, which is really nice. And she's going to increase the skill impact. In addition to raising their power, she's going to increase skill impact by 25%, which also makes.
Is there a yellow type villain? That's who you are? I don't think there is, actually. I can't think of one on my top of my head. I don't think there is.
No, not that I can. No, no. I mean, if there is, we're gonna get flamed for this. But no, I don't think so.
But keep going. You want to roll?
Okay. I think my last thing. I've kind of already talked about everything I wanted to, but if she drops below 50% health, on top of, increasing the power by 40% for her allies, on top of giving her allies plus ultra, she's also going to give herself 2 barriers, which are going to nullify hits and increase the plus ultra gauge. I think it increases the plus ultra gauge of her enemies, so that is kind of like her one downfall there.
Yeah.
But other than that, very good character.
Thing is with her barrier that she gets from her auto skill 2 is that it can happen mid-turn. So regardless, you're getting 2 barriers guaranteed. It's kind of like how the Air Force Deku works, and that one memory that everybody runs on Nejiri, or that provides dodge. Have you ever witnessed that?
Yeah,
that one memory that does dodge. Yeah. So it's kind of like that, which is very clutch with Living. It's kind of like a last stand kind of deal. And yeah, she's just a good support for Faith characters, because skill impact is way better than power in generally, unless the percentages are insane for the power. But 25%, that's a lot. And the plus ultra spam is just crazy good. And that plus ultra does lead to lowering her cooldowns. So you can think of it as a 4-5 cooldown instead of a 5-6 cooldown, which is reasonably good. Not the craziest, but for what she does, it's really nice.
Yeah, I agree with all that. She's very, like, I'm going to say it again. She's a niche character.
Okay. Let's go. This is our 8th character, right? Yes.
Yes.
So we have Green Aizawa, SR Aizawa. You explained it pretty well to me pre-recording. Just a inferior version of Destruction Aizawa, which I still think is very good. For PvE, remember, we're doing this PvE style, no PvP, okay? So, the medium chance of seal, which is the best status ailment you could possibly do to an enemy. The temporary buff removal is very clutch, specifically for those enemies that have these dodges, they have barriers or damage reduction for a few turns. Lowers speed, lowers critical rate, bind on his second action skill, even though it's a low chance, but it's still 25%, which is not too bad. He gives everybody a plus ultra gauge if they are a UA high student, which is very common. Like most of the top tier units are high UA high students, if all. And then power of in type characters 20%. So a little bit of a support, which is not too bad.
Right, and you said the low chance to buy in 25%, not too bad, but whew, let me tell you, my VE tower runs, that never lands. but on paper, it looks really good.
Yeah.
I agree.
And he has the 15% crit rate, which is pretty solid too.
Yeah, exactly. So all that thrown together, it's a good mashup.
Yes, I do want to give honorable mentions to Blue Aizawa. I just think Blue Aizawa doesn't make this list because he's very specific versus STRs, and then even though he does versus STRs, it's not like the craziest advantage of all time. So just wanted to put that out there. For PvE, that's pretty much it.
You said PvE there?
Yeah, PvE, yeah.
Okay, I thought I heard PvP for
because he like cleanses status ailments and removes status ailments, which is cool and all, but like the enemy doesn't really do, like, I haven't really witnessed an enemy do too many status ailments. So
you know what?
That are
they
important.
could be doing that. There could be a VE tower coming for that though, since they haven't done it yet. Now that you said it.
Yeah. I mean, the Aizawa VE tower was like kind of like that, where they could like seal you and stuff like that. But usually you go first anyway, so it kind of counteracts that.
Yeah, that's true. They would need to make like a VE tower that has like more speed than you, and then create status ailments or something.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. That would switch it up though.
Yeah.
Our next character is Togata, or Lemillion, however you want to say it. I wonder if they actually
Why do you know? You say, I feel like you say the most uncommon names for each character. Like you said Uraraka. I think... Let me know in the comment section down below. Yeah. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you call Ochako Uraraka, or the hero name Uravity? Do you call Mirio Togata? I've never heard anybody call Mirio Togata at all.
Anyways, the point I was gonna get to here was, why do they actually use all of their, like, why don't they use their hero names? Like, they're in their hero outfits. Like hero outfits should be hero names. Then, like, you know, the cooking ones, I would understand that being their normal names, but it literally just crossed my mind. I've never thought of that before.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, just
All
not
right.
to confuse or something. I don't know.
I guess. Okay, back to the whole point of this. His plus ultra skill is really good at confusing. It's a 40% chance. I have used him, and I'm pretty sure you've used him in the VE tower as well. I think we both have him on our first team for the current VE tower.
Yep.
And that chance, that 40% chance to confuse, it actually hits quite a bit. It's a lot better than like Aizawa's 25%.
Yeah.
And I would say it hits like 1 out of 2 times for me. So it's pretty good. And then he has the action skills as well that will decrease the opponent's power, like when he hits them. And then he has his other one to draw aggro to himself. But on top of drawing aggro to himself, he increases his own crit rate for 3 turns. If it's used in a successful skill chain, so you have to use it like second or third in the skill chain.
You can use it first. You can use it first.
I think it only increases crit if you use it in a successful skill chain.
Yeah, you have to have another skill following his skill, but you can use it as the first skill chain.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was to make it a technical hit then, because I don't think it counted.
No,
as
it counts.
First.
It counts.
Does it?
Yeah, as long as you're not using that skill by itself, and as long as you tap on the thing, obviously.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, and then he also gives the ability to evade, which is really nice while covering allies. He's going to cover allies, and then he's going to evade on top of that, which is just going to reduce the amount of damage he takes. And then he also has his other auto skill, which gives him the ability to evade one time when a wave starts. That's 2 evasions, basically. And then he can also, with his other auto skill, increase his critical hit rate by 25% more. So this guy can get, when HP is below 50%. So this guy can get 50% crit, basically, just off of his built-in crit for his character. And then on top of that, I kind of skipped an action skill here, going back up. He increases the power by 7% when he lands a critical hit up to 5 times. So he's just going to hit really hard and tank really well, making him a very good character. And he also has a few technicals built in.
Yeah. So pretty much both technical hits and good crit rates, good for VE Tower, essentially. And then obviously the evade is very nice, especially for countering plus ultras or anything like that. Pretty much like a mini yellow Mirio in this case.
Did you pull the yellow Mirio?
No. If I did, oh man, the tower, I would take #1 spot.
Yeah, I'd still be in third, but yeah, I would love to pull him. I'm so glad the brackets are getting switched. No offense. I'm tired of going against you.
I wasn't even ranked that high last time. I was like 5th. Come on.
Oh man, I've been struggling on this one, sitting here for hours. Like, how did he hit that score? And then I go back and watch your stream, and I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, I cried too. All right, let's get into the final character, and that is the red Sr Kiroshima. I think not in terms of V tower points, but I think as a general SR, I think he's one of the most valuable. And I like his mechanic a lot. So let's go through his kits. He has Last Stand. He has defense increase as well. Oh no, he has skill impact increase if the defense is increased, which has from his action skill 2. And then he has the barrier, which is amazing. So how the barrier works, he gets 1 every turn. And you might think this is 1 every turn, but like it happens 4 times and it's unconditional other than the first 4. So like you don't have to do anything. You just at the start of the turn, and then that instantly is a taunt because of his second auto skill, which is amazing. You just I versed this guy in like the in PvP, and other than being an SR, like he was quite annoying just because of that. Because even if you remove the barrier, it doesn't remove the next turn, so there's no counter to that as of yet. So that's what is amazing for me about this card. And of course, he's got the defense, cancels 1 status element of all allies excluding character, which is really good. And he's a nice support as well. So I think he is the definition, I think, of a good like tank support that even like the UI Kiroshimas can't even do, kinda.
Yeah, you say that, and you talked about PvP. I'll talk about PvE a little bit here. If you guys have ever run the Plus Ultra stage, and I'm sure you have, and gotten up to the Bakugo at the end, who just has, oh my gosh, it's just ridiculous if you've ever gotten there. I don't actually have the red UR Kiroshima, so I struggled with that for a long time because it's almost like I guess it's not a prerequisite, but it seems very necessary to make the run easier to kill the Bakugo. And so I ran this, as soon as I pulled him, this red SR Kiroshima in place of the UR Kiroshima. Yeah. And he did almost as good, if not better, like by increasing his allies' power and attack that made all the difference. Like, they were hitting so much harder when I was running my other red characters. Like, he was absolutely insane.
Yeah, he's really good. If there's a UI that's like this, I think it would be the next defense meta. It'd be absolutely insane. It's weird how like SR characters have some better kits than URs, man. And if only they had the stats to back it up, man, they'd be meta. They would actually be meta. Oh, God.
I agree. Like, I just want to backtrack one more time really quickly.
Yeah.
SR Shinso and UR Shinso, so similar. And, like, if SR Shinso had the stats, like, I would probably put him on par, if not better, than UR Shinso. But that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, I could see that, because of those crit rates that he gets from his auto skills as well.
Right.
But that is pretty much it for today's video. These are the 10 SRs. They are the SRs, but we thought these 10 were solid enough to talk about. So hopefully you guys did enjoy. DRC3's YouTube channel is in the description. Check his channel out. Subscribe to him. We have a video on his channel where we talked about 10 URs that you should probably be using. So make sure you check that out. But that's going to wrap it up. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel with the notification bell on. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay fizzy. Peace out.